Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the verb to be present tense. So usually when we look at we've talked about past where we add past tense where we add ed to the end of something. That's called an inflectional ending because the word that we put in front of it can stand by itself. It is a word, but ed is not a word. It cannot be by itself. It would be ed. And the only way ed is a word is if it's someone's name, like Edward. But we're going to talk about present tense. And present tense means it's happening right now. So a lot of times when we have present tense, we add ing as our inflectional ending. But when we have the verb to be, we aren't going to add ing to it. What we're going to look at is we're going to look at the words am, are, and is. So we want to talk about when we have the word am, that would be always with the word I. So I am. Am, and if you're just saying I, then that has one. So am would be one. Is also one. It wouldn't make sense to say the dogs, which is more than one, is brown, because that would imply that you're only talking about one dog. And so instead of saying the dogs is is brown, we need to match the tense, which is, if it's singular or plural, to the noun. So it would be the dogs are, which is more than one. So anytime you are talking about something that is one, it would be am or is. If it's more than one, it would be are. So for example, on our worksheet, we have to figure out which word it completes the sentence. It says color the correct verb for each sentence, write the word on the line. So am, are, and is are verbs. I know that it sounds silly to say that those are verbs, because we've learned that verbs are actions, but not all the time. So am means that you're being something. So yes, it is an action, but you don't see the word be. But am, are, and is means to be. So we blank at the park with John. So we, how many is we? Well, we is more than one. It's yourself and other people. We don't know how many people we is, but we could be 2, we could be 17, we could be as many people as you want. As long as it's more than one, then we're going to say we. If it's not more than one, it's just you, then you'll say I. So we, I'm going to read it with each word and see if it makes sense. We am at the park with John. That doesn't make sense to me because we know that am is 1 and we is 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to write the number over each word so that way I can be able to figure it out a little bit easier. So I'm going through and I'm writing a number over each one, but there are some that are both going to be 1 or both going to be 2. So I want to show you how to and if I'm writing 2, it just means more than 1. How to figure out which one it would be. So we're going to do a couple of them together. And it's very important that we read each one carefully to figure it out. And that's why it's taking me a minute or two. So now I've gone through and I have labeled each one. And again, if I say 2, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily the number 2. It could be more than 2. So we said it can't be we am. Oh, I wrote the wrong number. It can't be we am because then we have more than one and one. So it has to be we are at the park. So I'm not going to do number 2 for us because I want you to figure that out on your own. Number 3, is and am are our options. I put a 1 over both of them, and I also put a 1 over the word she. So how do I figure it out? Well, I'm going to read them and see if they sound correct to me, see if they make sense. She is on the swings. That sounds about right. She am on the swings. No, because remember, we learned that am is always with, or usually with, the word I. Well, she and I are not the same word. So it can't be am, it's got to be is. And we have to color or circle the correct word. And you don't have to put an X on it, but I put an X just because that one stands out to me, that they're both one and I don't, or singular, and I don't want to get myself confused. So again, the dog and the cat blank outside. So and tells me that there's more than one, so it's got to be plural. I'm going to look are and am. Well, are is the plural. So the dog and cat are outside. So I skipped around and gave you just a couple of the answers and some examples on how to figure it out. If you have any questions, you can join me for my office hours. However, this is a Friday assignment. So if you think you're going to need help with this, I would suggest you do it a little bit earlier. Or even though I don't have my office hours this week on Friday, you can still message me and I can help you if need be. I can fit you in a different time if I have to. So I hope that this video helps, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Bye, guys.